this beat today.
You close your eyes, and you see the ordinary, warm, brown, closed eyelid scenario, and then these colors begin racing together and form this mandalic, floral, slowly rotating thing, which I call
higher chrysanthemum, higher space, higher zone, outer space, higher throne, outer state, higher chrysanthemum. Know my place, know my home, know my base, going on a killing spree. This is how you feel when you hang from the gutter like crabs in a bucket hot. Now we got the city on fire, and I've been trying to get in my Myers. You know we going over limits, don't try us. Study, study, study till you make it out. Enough to save a nation, why not save yourself? You trying to find a package, about to play yourself. Caveat until you never heard that read out loud. Who say we not teaching no civics, they liars. That constitution got the courtroom on fire. That resolution 7-5 with no bias. Coronavirus in your Lysol products. Bury it, carry it deep, don't tarry it. Heavy like a weight on my heart, lay Marion. Oh, my treasure was tossed in Lake Marion. Gone but never lost, we taught to never cherish it. Father never home, my throne should be a chariot. And various with areas underground like Harriet, underground like the spirit inside the heart of America. They pumping pharmaceutics, purple hearts in America. Higher space, higher zone, outer space, higher throne, outer state, higher chrysanthemum. Know my place, know my home, know my base, going on a killing spree. This is how you feel when you hang from the gutter like crabs in a bucket hot. Now we got the city on fire, and I've been trying to get in my Myers. You know we going over limits, don't try us.
The word chumps and nerds going live with lies and words, calling themselves transitive verbs. We stay proper in status, in full life, lavish halo crown, sons of a law view of 29 mantis. They doing rituals, using feces and rabbits. They throw rocks through our temple window like crack addicts. Make them hug cactus in realms of hieroglyphics. Lightning bolt to the neck of Greco Serapis. And the Turks say gave me my fez, they're backwards. Lost souls spinning inward in the portals awkward. I self-law and mastered national standards of angles, marvelous light geometric patterns. High past mountain tops, deep past caverns. When we have questions, inner self has most answers. And you're ready for the truth, close your eyes, let go. Embrace the intricate beauty as you pass the threshold.
Higher chrysanthemum, higher space, higher zone, outer space, higher throne, outer state, higher chrysanthemum. Know my place, know my home, know my base, going on a killing spree. This is how you feel when you hang from the gutter like crabs in a bucket hot. Now we got the city on fire, and I've been trying to get in my Myers. You know we going over limits, don't try us. Study, study, study till you make it out.
Northgate, H2O flow, Chic, Canaanland, Moor, when these fall, Shalon Davis, salute, house, check it, they say they wanna learn, they only debate, referencing the truth, trust me, they only sound great, study nationality before you question my estate, I'm not a minority, why you so late, majority rules, here comes the test, fact, that's my hand in the form of a V on the chest, that's a womb that is blessed like a moon and a crest. Major forever, infinite mindset. Major from birth, that's a seed in process. I'm a Moor, that is easy to digest. Competent, never terrenilious. That is my land, never vacant. Sacred traditions, petitions for what you're not Jamaican. Westmoreland to Portmore, everybody needs more. We feel please more. Following the apostle, we should read more. I see the unseen more, we more. That's a fact. Canaanland.
They say they want to learn, complain classes are too long. Don't want it on a phone call, energy too strong. Get it from the wrong source, now they way off course. Think they must be Muslim and give up on all sports. Should give up the red meat, must give up on all porks. Won't be yelling haram when the bottles are uncorked. eating with the spoon, use forks for tuning. Eating humble pie, no ego ballooning. Samson 2 caterpillars, got him cocooning. As the full moon hung, spiral energy moving. Up through the crown chakra, energy shooting. And told me upload classes before live YouTubing. 16,000 subscribers, 20% consuming. 80% troll pretending to be tuned in. Comment on every video, pushing the thumbs down. Won't push the link when we live, just like a clown. Pouring in the incompetence, always debating. Dissing Drew Ali, but won't give their location. His image on the black banner, that's placation. Just get him out of here, Yusuf yells in frustration. We know they're playing games, we're not berating. Calling 911, scimitars penetrating. In defense of prophets and mothers abused. And newly awakened Moors, amused and confused.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law may civil a lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. Or keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mix it with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets told me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm sorbet, prepping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, deja vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it, so the snakes still show.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law may civil a lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. Or keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mix it with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets told me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm sorbet, prepping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, deja vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it, so the snakes still showing up. Stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for life, the book of Genesis. Astroplane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life, finish him.
Morris Omar, key man or oracle. Using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical. Lost and metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic. Facts slap a dirty Moor or a Drew Ali critic. Calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved. Or cut like a close shave. Drowned in my brainwaves, squashed by heat waves. Activating Kundalini. Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini. Selassie I in exile. Reptile in Genesis, niggas appearing real. All I see is false evidence. VAR feminists, stomped on by elephants. Won't like more prejudice, but want Moorish benefits. When you feel the pull, magnetic resonance. Apis horns of the sacred bull called Maleficent. Great cosmic mothers, return to blessedness. No pestilence, ace all the testaments. Tap into remembrance, never to forget again. Use energy right, not put spell effects on men. Wandering the earth plane with no they live shades. Keeps you a mental slave as the horizon fades. It's been decades since Christian crusades. Not enough rebellions, too many vigil bouquets. Holding on to the fence, burning on doomsday. War ruled by Mars, it might be on a Tuesday.
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try?
Wanna give it a try? Wanna give it a try? Now we really wanna know, cause you see right here, IMHH Temple,
I am HH Temple, I am HH Temple, like going nuts, emailing crazy. Well, you want to know, you fly in this One Piece thing, and you got on Naruto sweaters and stuff like that. So we go check One Piece with this, the flag. He took down the Moorish flag and now he's flying this. Right? This is what he's repping for now. Right? He's not repping for Noble Drew Ali, he's repping for Martin Luther King and One Piece and Naruto. So when we check these characters on One Piece, all I'm seeing is drag queens on there. How come everybody's a drag queen on goddamn One Piece? Why is there men with pearls? Why men with pearls and stuff like that? Wearing tights and fishnet stockings and all that stuff. And this is supposed to be a Moor. So if y'all are saying that's a Moor, if y'all are going with somebody out here doing some madness, and because they have a fez on, that means that they're a Moor. You're obviously being played. You're obviously being played. No. This is not what we say. This is not what we say. This is what they say. This is what they're saying. The people who make One Piece, this is what they're saying. Kiku has without a doubt presented himself as a female, but described himself as a male. Isn't that a tranny? So when you see Moors pushing One Piece and Naruto and all this stuff, and then they're justifying it like, well, there's metaphysics in it, so there's metaphysics in it. So that means we're gonna go buy some tranny stuff. Now, it's nothing personal, it's just principles. It's just principles. Do what you will. But principles reign supreme. It's not what I say. Principles just reign supreme. That's just what it is. Yamato is the daughter of Keidu of the four emperors and proclaims to be Kozuki Oden. Her profound admiration for the legendary samurai has led Yamato to embody everything related to the samurai, to the extent of proclaiming to be a man as well. And she is widely referred to as Keido's son. So everybody's down with this then, is what they're saying? Because if everybody knows he had a daughter and then they're calling his daughter a son, isn't that the same thing that people are saying they don't want these people teaching their children and stuff right now? And they're getting they have to deal with it. Trannies are gonna be up in there teaching your children. And not your adult children. Not your adult children, by the way. So you keep playing around, you keep playing around, repping for these people. All these sellouts and traders. All of them. All of them. So one of them that he sent me is this one right here, repping for his boys. Repping for his boys.
I was thinking about Louis Farrakhan. I was like, where he at? I was looking for him because my husband used to, and I was just so focused on popping up with Ali and what we supposed to do that when my husband listens to Farrakhan, sometimes I would just be like, babe, let's uplift the nation. Like, and so now my soul is like wanting and thirsting for Farrakhan's messages. And I hear you are like a walking testimony. And I'm like, the fact that you made this video today talking about something, I'm looking for my teacher, but he already answered the questions of what's going on right now. And so I'm like, don't play with me, brother, because I'll go back in the past and I will search some stuff because I'm thirsty. I am.
Come on.
I'm sorry.
Come on with it.
I am. And so you keep telling us the truth. And you keep your foot on us. But the fire's on our coattails. Because it's time for all of us to rise. No more excuses. We got to hold ourselves accountable. Because when that day and that hour come, it's just going to be you, Allah, and that soul. What have you been doing, my love?
That's right.
Rise up.
That's right. That's right. That's right, huh? That's right. What have you been doing? Since you want to talk about Farrakhan's the man and all this stuff like that, let's put it on the record once again for all the people who want to play games as if everybody doesn't know. And your dumbass playing whatever game you're playing with what your identity is only on you. Because all the master teachers know that we're Moors. All of them proclaim their nationality. Whether they said Moors out their mouth on something, whether they said I'm a Moor, whether 20 years ago they did something Moorish and they didn't tell your dumbass because they already know you're dumbass. And they wore fezzes. They went to other countries, got fezzes given to them by other people and all that stuff. And you're still playing around as if they're telling you one piece, but they got nationality. They're telling you Naruto and the metaphysics is in that and all that stuff. And then you're chasing that. Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch hours of this cartoon with all this tranny and cross-dressing stuff in it. And pretend that my subconscious mind is not digesting all this BS that I'm putting in it right now. And then she's going to talk about, well, first of all, because I was going to play all of it, but I said, nah, let's not play all of it. Let's get to the veggies. Let's get to the big salad. The salad with every favorite vegetable you love is in there. And you have your favorite dressing. I'm about to get it in. She tells NOI guy, oh, my husband, he's a Moor. First of all, she asks him, oh, can I tell him? Can I tell him that you're a Moor? Of course, yeah, tell him. Yeah. He's a Moor. This is Brother Ben X now. Tell him I said Islam. You think they don't know? You think in the background all these people aren't nationalized? Because, if we're going to go with what their leader is doing, then that would probably mean, everybody who's behind the leader is doing the same thing. At least the ones who have contact with the leader. And we already know, ever since he went, how much ever, 1,000, people watching him now. Right. He got his personal. He has his personal. You know what I mean? Just like there's only certain people who have Taj number and could call him on the phone. You know, and there's certain people who have certain people's number, and you're not getting a hold of them unless somebody puts you on or whatever. Right? So he's in like that. Right? So if he knows the big man, let's just see what's on the record. Maybe you don't know. Moor's been knowing what's up. You know, everybody wants receipts and all that. Okay, here's some receipts for you. In case you never heard. In case you don't know what they know, we're going to let you know what they know. And don't tell me any BS about we're unifying with all our people. We're going to unify, but we're all going to call ourselves a different thing. FOH with your BS. FOH with all that. You're not unifying if all of you are calling 50 different things. Nobody unifies like that on the planet. In the universe, in the multi-universes, no one unifies by saying, hey, you be black, I'll be orange, you be red, you be an island, you be a continent, you be stars, you be trees, you be a language, you be whatever. And we're going to have unity. No one, no being in existence is recognized like that. None. Zero. No being in existence. So when people bring up Farrakhan to me, I want to hurl. I want to hurl. Because I already know they're not going to bring up what needs to be brought up. And what needs to be brought up is that he's a Moor, he has a nationality, he knows that he's not some calypso singer and religious, whatever like that. He knows that he's a Moor. He knows what nationality is. Farrakhan we're talking about, he knows. Muhammad Ali knew. That's why he made the statement about nobody stripping him of his nationality. He's not going to fight anybody that looks like him, it looks like his brother. Because he got told certain things. Right? We're not on some type of hating campaign on somebody. Well, hating what? All we're doing is putting the truth out. And if this is the truth from them, how come they ain't telling you about this truth? Why don't you know about this? Why didn't they have Million Man March and read this to the millions of people there? Why didn't they do that? Why when they put Noble Drawley's face on a picture, right? Why when they did that? When they put his face on the banner, why didn't they read this letter to everybody who was there? Instead of just put his picture up, make it look like this is unity, because we have all these leaders' pictures on this banner. Yeah, we're unified. No, we're not. Stop the dumb stuff. How are we unified and nobody has nationality? The only people who have a nationality are Moors. Everybody else is playing some fiction. Only Moors bring up nationality. Everybody else is playing fiction identity crisis games with you. So this is what they know. This is not what I'm saying. This is what they know. June 11th, 1986. Dear Brother Farrakhan, may this letter reach you wherever in the world you are traveling. I know that Allah is blessing you abundantly and making the doors to open. As we now read in Matthew 25:14, for the kingdom of heaven is like a man traveling into a far country. We see the significance of your travels, and we, your servants, in the cause of Allah, must double our talents, so to speak, in preparation for your return. I pray Allah that your return will be pleased with our efforts. The point of this letter is to inform you of certain events which have recently transpired that may prove to be of importance to you. These little notes will also serve to explain the letter herein enclosed from our allies, the Moor Science Temple, written by Sheikh Joel Bratton Bey. I will be brief, inshallah. On May 26, 1986, several sheikhs of the Moor Science Temple, something else there, of the top national leadership, such as Sheikh Bratton Bey and Sheikh Ankh El of Baltimore, visited us in Washington during our Wednesday night meeting. We were pleased to have them, of course, and afterwards they consulted with me in private to indicate that they had come out of concern for your safety and well-being on your return to the USA. They gave me a briefing of their views and also literature on the legal aspects of your case, in particular, and all black people in general. They gave me a briefing of their views and also literature on the legal aspects of your case, in particular, and all black peoples in general. We agreed to meet again, which we did in Baltimore at the Moor Science Temple on Entah Street. In attendance were representatives of not only the Nation of Islam and Moor Science Temple, but the United Negro Improvement Association, the Republic of New Africa, and others. In addition, the Reverend Theodore Williams, whom you know was in attendance to announce his candidacy for the congressional seat in the 7th District of Maryland, vacated by Parren Mitchell. His purpose for running is to introduce a resolution for a separate state for blacks. Also in attendance, very conspicuously, was the Spirit of Allah. This, mind you, being the 25th night of Ramadan, June 3rd, 1986. The presiding Moorish sheikhs gave us an excellent presentation on their teachings and their views on your situation, citing case law as examples, i.e. Jesse Jackson, the Leeds Bay case, Leeds Bay, the Leeds Bay case, and Muhammad Ali. The bottom line was the need for you to be naturalized as a Moorish American to escape the legal jurisdiction of the U.S. government actions against you. Much detailed information, quite well documented, was presented and is condensed in the enclosed letter to you as the naturalization process. Also deemed of essential importance to allow safe entrance was the need to arrive via Africa through the port of New Orleans. Definitely not New York via Europe. If via Asia, then through San Francisco. On June 5th, 1986, the 27th night of Ramadan, I stood with Reverend Williams as he announced formally his intention to run for Congress. I addressed the Assembly of Moors and was well received. Again, the Spirit descended. On June 8th, 1986, again in Baltimore, I met with the Moorish sheikhs. this time accompanied by your legal counselor, Sister Ava Muhammad, who wanted to evaluate the legal merits of the Moorish position. I think she was favorably disposed towards what they had to say. However, I will leave it to her to render her own judgment to you in her professional capacity. Finally, I wish to say that as we met on the evening of June 8th in a pavilion in Druid Park under the new crescent moon and star, the western sky still red with the sunset, I felt the spirits of noble Drew Ali and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Without going further, I feel something very, very special has occurred to make the Moorish Science Temple and the Nation of Islam allies. We met again at the study group in Baltimore on June 9th. I pray on your return that you and the Honorable Grand Sheikh Dingle L will meet and let a marriage take place. I close knowing that it is Allah alone who guides your heart and mind, and He alone who is sufficient in power to preserve us from the evil designs of this wicked world. Your brother Abdul Ali Muhammad. And obviously he got back in the country, right? Obviously, he got back in the country. So obviously, what he did worked. Oh my gosh, so that means naturalization? No, that's not what that means. That means El, Bey, Day, Al, and Ali are recognized. How come you're not claiming it? He claimed his, got back in the country. And he's still around today. He's still around today. So if he's still around today, then what do you mean? What do you say? He's not a Moor? Or did he do what Drew Ali said and turned in his card and button and went back to being a nigger? And he's playing you. Because, which way is it? If he went back to the dead state, then he's a traitor. If he still saying that he's a Moor, but calling people black and all that, then he's a traitor. And anybody who rides with him. And it's nothing personal. We got no beef. We just know the truth. Because we're Moors. And it's our duty as Moors to uplift our people. And what are we supposed to uplift our people? About their nationality and their birthrights. If you got El Bey, Al, or Ali and you're claiming anything other than nationality and birthrights, and on top of that you're putting price tags on stuff and all that, you know what you people are up to. And we see you. We know what you're doing. We just want to let you know we got the letter. We know what's up, right? We got Riza Islam's nationality paperwork. We know he went to court as a Moor, beat that case up. You hear anything about him cases with Medicare fraud and all that stuff? How come he's out for Medicare fraud? How come he's out? How come they got Moors locked up for doing nothing, and this guy did millions in Medicare fraud and he's free? Oh, crickets? Oh, crickets, huh? How come he's now on disinformation list for some vaccine, whatever BS, and nobody's talking about Medicare fraud? 3 million. No, nobody, you're not concerned about Medicare fraud? They robbed our people, and then people are going to talk about Noble Drew Ali did something? When these people are in your face right now with their new moniker, disinformation dozen and all this, made up a new thing, so nobody's not going to talk about the Medicare fraud, huh? And that he went to court as a Moor and beat the case. How come no one's talking about that? How come they're not talking about that? Do a lecture about that shit. What did you say in court? What did you say in court for the Medicare stuff? That's what we do, a lecture on that. Talk about that. Denounce the disinformation dozen BS. Start saying you're a Moor and put out what you're supposed to put out. Stop playing games. Farrakhan, let's go. Stop playing games. You did your work. You did your thing. You had a great life. Give the people their stuff now. Just give the people their stuff. You had an amazing life. You went places, you met people that people only wish that they could see them, much less meet them. You spoke before millions of people. You got your shine. It's okay. You can come out and say it now. Nobody's gonna do anything. We're actually gonna, be happy. Use your platform. That Nation Islam platform that comes from the Moor Science Temple. Because you already know Fard and Elijah and all of them were Els and Bays too. You already know you had Fezzes and all that. But nah, we already know they're not going to talk. They put Noble Drew Ali's name on the thing. They'll say Islam to Moors and all that. But they're not declaring who they are. They're gonna stay right where they're at. You know what I mean? That's why we're saying that it ain't on them. It's on you. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna go declare your nationality? Or are you gonna listen to them just because you have your little feelings for them or whatever? You love them. Honors to the minister and all this stuff. It's real easy. Just tell the people what's up. Right? Just tell the people what's up. We're not begging. They need to hear you say it. They need to hear you say, yes, I'm a Moor. Yes, I'm one of the leaders of the Nation of Islam, but I'm a Moor. I got nationality, however you got it, we don't care. Put your free national name on the record, tell these people, go nationalize. I don't care how they do it. I don't care if they naturalize with them people. I don't care. Because you got back in the country, so obviously something works if you got back in the country naturalized. Something worked. If you're here, all these years later, and ain't nobody rushing on the stage to pull you down, kidnap you or nothing like that. We got the letter. Don't worry how. Don't worry how. Just know that it's on your side. Because we have allies too. You know, you get mad about. It's just what it is. We know. You're not pulling no wool over active, competent, Noble Drew Ali Moors. Because if he felt the spirit of Noble Drew Ali and Elijah Muhammad in 86, then there should have been Noble Drew Ali's face on a banner. There should have been conversations and lectures about him. Did they talk though? Nah. And still not talking. You know. Don't forget, I mean, NOI is not the only one in there. Because of course it's correspondence. And we know. We know. That's all. We're just saying that we know. Moor Science Temple, the Divine and National Movement of North America Incorporated. Number 13, Prophet Drew Ali II. Right there, Prophet Drew Ali II. Prophet Drew Ali II. Right, you see there? Moor Science Temple. There's no of America going on? No, none of that? Oh. Remember 86? After Noble Drew Ali? Oh, alright. Okay. The Nation of Islam, Minister Farrakhan, National Representative. Islam, brother. Greetings in the name of peace and justice. It's been brought to our attention that in the very near future you will be returning to the United States of America. However, it's been indicated by the Justice Department that they will arrest you upon your arrival back to the United States for violating a presidential order. Therefore, as one Muslim brother to another, it is our duty to assist you in the only way possible. That is through the Moor Science Temple, the Divine and National Movement of North America Incorporated, number 13, copybook 521, file number 539, record group number 147, National Archives, National Headquarters, General Services Administration, Washington, D.C., 20408, Charter of Warrant and Dispensation. Prior to your arrival stateside, an official announcement must be made stipulating your intentions to be immediately naturalized according to our authority. Upon arrival, our officials would administer the complete naturalization process, which includes the following. Act 6 of Divine Constitution and Bylaws, administer the oath of amnesty and restoration and subscribe to same, issue certificate of registration, issue nationality and identification card. If they're naturalizing, how come they're issuing a nationality card? How come they don't issue a naturalization card? How come they're not issuing naturalization cards if you're naturalizing? Why are they still issuing a nationality card? Just a thought. With caution, let us advise you at this point, you automatically become part and parcel of this said government and must live the life accordingly. Then you must come under the copyright statutory law, the resurrection, be yourself and not someone else. Remember, my brother, President Reagan is working with us. You have affirmed yourself to the true U.S. Constitution. Therefore, from this day forward, you will be under the protection and jurisdiction of the Charter of Warrant and Dispensation and the 13th Amendment with 20 sections. Upon confirmation by you, our officials will administer the complete naturalization process Upon your arrival to the United States, we await your response. And like we said, he's back in the country, right? So if they've been on it since 86, it's time for them to fess up. It's time to fess up. It's time to fess up. More sent a question. If you have any questions, put it in the chat. I noticed some Moors who have legally done the name change through the courts have kept their last name, surname, and attached one of the 5 Moorish titles to it, while others change their whole name and add one of the Moorish titles to it. Which is proper? When we're talking about our status, the reason why we're nationalizing is because we realized that we're not in a natural status. Right? We realize something. We realize that something's wrong with me saying I'm John Smith. Because there's no way that I could be John Smith. When you nationalize, for example, somebody was Joel Bratton, and then they said Joel Bratton Bay is now who they are, right? That's limited, and it's almost a contradiction. But, you know, Mr. Ling Chi Fai is going to come over here and be Ben Chan. And we already know Ben's not his name. We know he's not Ben when he goes home, when he goes back to where he's from. They don't call him Ben where he's from. But he's here as Ben. Jackie. He's here as Jackie. And making millions and doing movies and all this stuff as Jackie. That's a corpse. That's not him. When he goes back home, they don't call him Jackie. Guarantee they don't call him Jackie when he goes back home. Okay, so we're home. So when we say who we are and we attach El Bede Al or Ali, you should be attaching it to something that's not colonial, something that's not modern Roman, modern European, because it's a borderline contradiction. The reason why it's not a contradiction is because we have people like, for example, Jackie Chan, who we could use to show that that ain't his name. But nobody cares, and he's making millions. Nobody cares. Or is there something else going on that our people aren't paying attention to? That he got a nationality. He's not Jackie. That's a fiction that he's going to use in the fiction world. The movie's real? Is that real? Well, he does his own stunts. Okay, well... Was Jackie doing those stunts? Or was whatever his name that his mom calls him doing the stunts? Now, we're under occupation. We're under colonization. So I get why, from a get out of colonization perspective, you're going to say, just put the thing on and just change it so I don't have to deal with it like that. Yeah, but you're going to get to the level of knowledge when you realize that you're going to have to change it anyways. So you might as well just do it now instead of having to do it twice. Right? The idea is separating, do not amalgamate. You don't want ties to the corpse, because the corpse is only going to be used for one thing against you. Whether they're going to stress you out, make you broke, whatever it is, everything is going to be based in this corpse. So when you say, I am John Smith Bay, you're going to get a certain place with it. But they're not going to let you go over the line with that, because then if they let you go over the line with that, then you got them. Because they're not really supposed to be dealing with the indigenous people like that. The indigenous people are supposed to be handling their own stuff. They don't need them. They're colonists. This is why Noble Drew Ali said Grand Sheik, Grand Governor, Grand Secretary, Grand Treasurer, Treasury. What do you mean? Well, how is that not your government? Don't worry about what it's called. We're talking about the functionality of the different parts of it. A manufacturing department. Why wouldn't a government have that? Sisters Auxiliary, which is the backbone of the whole thing. The different jurisdictions that are within it are different departments of your government. So one of those is that if you realize that you're not Negro, black, colored, you come to this spot, you correct your name because it's not a change. So you're correcting, and then once you correct, now you start being yourself with the name that you have now. And all old business stays as it is. And it's not something to be confused. Use your common sense. All old business stays as it is. And do all new business in your free national name. So yes, that means for some period of time, you're going to be a Moor that's going to be dealing with some corporate stuff. Because you're not just going to drop everything and walk away from everything. That would be rather dumb. Now that you just went out and did it and you said, Shaka Zulu Bay, you take that and then you just rest that over there. You're not trying to go out there and do anything with it and all that stuff because you just nationalized yesterday. You didn't even look up nationality yet to know what that is. You didn't even look up the difference between change and correction when it comes to name. You didn't even look up name. So we look at, when you say declare your nationality, proclaim your nationality, and you say, I'm not John Smith Bay, I'm Shaka Zulu Bay. That is actually advanced. That's up there. Right? You should be in the study period, you're John Smith Bay in the study period, because you're not doing anything. You're not going out there saying that you're whatever. Life is going on how it's been going on. You're not going to go try stuff and all that. There's a time frame where you're still checking this thing out. You're not fully in yet. You're not fully in. You know what I mean? You're probably up to your calves or something. So if you're up to your calves, you're not going to try to go off the diving board. 20-foot diving board, water's at your calves, and you're talking about, let me just try the backflip from up here. But people want to do the rush job. People want to do the rush job. And you can't do the rush job with this. You're going to get injured. And then it's going to be nobody's fault but yours. Because why are you rushing? What are you rushing for? Well, because they're going to give the vaccine to... But 3 years ago when we were telling you nationalize and all that stuff, you're looking at Moor as crazy. Say, nah, I'm not no Moor and all that stuff. And now all of a sudden everybody's Moors now. Because of some fake stuff that's not even out there like that. Like what? That's all it took? Should have been said that. Should have been said poke these people so they could come nationalize and get their vaccine exemptions as Moors. What about when changing your child's name but raising the child in 2 separate homes? So once you're talking about 2 separate homes, that means the 2 adults need to go check themselves. And if one of the adults doesn't want to, check themselves and keep doing the dumb stuff and not look out for So if the 2 people can't come to some type of balance for the sake of the child based on one individual, you're probably going to have a lot of issues. It ain't going down like that because you know some info and all that stuff, and you're going to tell her or tell him, and they're going to be like, oh yeah, sure. No, it ain't going down like that. You're gonna have some battles. You're gonna have some battles. So I would say forget the name and just go with the info. Because if they're a child, it ain't, just like Jackie. It don't matter. You know who they are. It's where's their mind at? Because if they're gonna be at her or his house and learn more science, and then go to the other parent's house and then eating pork and whatever other madness is going on over there, it's almost a losing battle, is what it looks like to me. So might be better to do what you can to instill in them certain things when they're with you, and and then let the chips fall. You're either gonna get the call or whatever. Why are you teaching them about this stuff and all that stuff? Then that's what you signed up for. So you find a way to deal with it. But don't get into nothing crazy and then have highwaymen called and all that type of madness. Because it doesn't even, Seven-year-old daughter's mom would be cool with me adding the Moorish title and changing the last name, but not her first name, which we both came up with. Yeah, so like I said, if everything's running smooth, then it shouldn't be any issues. You know, because it's about the El Bede Ali. That's what it's not about. The Shaka Zulu part. It ain't about that part. Really and truly. You know, it's about having the tie to your nationality. That's what it's about. Which is why people would say the born name, even if it's a European name, and just put El Herbe on it or whatever. Because regardless, you're making the statement that your heirs are more, you're a more, your wife's a more, or your you know, your dog, your fish, you know, the house has a flag on it, then the house is a more. You know, that's just what it is. Regardless what it's called, regardless how it looks, wears, or whatever like that, that's what it is. Right? You know, because everything's just about perspective with where you are. You know, that's why you can't watch so many people, because all these people are looking at it from a different lens. And some people's stuff blurry as shit. You can't see anything. You know what I mean? They gotta open their eyes wide to see, or they gotta squint or whatever like that to you know what I mean? Those, you don't want those ones. You want to get the perspective right from the jump. Like when people say, yeah, so yeah, I got my nationality, and so how do you do that? Yeah, well, I went to the court, and then why do you go to the court? Oh yeah, well, because, you know, I gotta change the name because, you know, the court says that you gotta, and then in the state you gotta do it. And then, you know, those people aren't studying. They're talking about states and all that stuff. They don't know what they're talking about. If they're talking about go to some European office that they call a court, a colonial office that they call a court, they just put the sign court, you know what I mean? That stuff, business hours right there, but it's a court though. And then you're going to go there, pay some finance to get them to change some birth certificate to Bay or whatever. And then it's not capitalized or anything like that. And you're parading around with it like that's your ID now. Obviously you're off. Because the stuff's not yours. You didn't go to the Moorish whatever to get that. You went to whatever corpse called court. And they gave you something. They gave you some papers to change something. So as soon as they say that they went to court, they're already in error. Because they didn't go to court to make you nigger. They go to court. Did they go to court to make men call the mother of their children baby mother? And women to call the father of their children baby father? Did they go to court and do that? Or did you just do that? You just started doing that? Oh, it didn't go to court for that, huh? Oh, okay. Interesting. So, but we're going to go to the court to go change. To go get a Moorish name, we're going to go to the European colonial court to go get Albay and all that. And then they're doing it, and we're like, oh yeah, they recognize whatever. No, they know you're dumb. They know they got you. How much you pay? How much ever you paid, they got you. Right? Because those aren't Moorish anything. Those are colonial documents. So even if you got El Bedeale and all that stuff on it, it's still a commercial, corporate, fraudulent, colorable document. And it's not you. Still, you're standing right there. There's a name on a passport, you. Not a name on a license, you. Yeah, well, it's Moorish name on there. And that's not you. You're standing right there. How is plastic you? Thought you said you're a Moor. You said El Bede Al Ali. If you're saying all that, then how come you're a card with a barcode on it? What do you mean that? You mean that's who you are? You mean you're some papers? Your papers? It's all about perspective. Once perspective is proper, once perspective is lined up so you can see what you're looking at and stuff is not blurry, you know it's time to move. Right? You know you're not just, jumping out the bed, walking out the door. Like you're not. Nobody does that. So why are people doing that with this? Everything else they take their time with it. This they want to rush, go over here, do this, and they gotta. Why? What's the problem? Why are you panicking? If you got any questions, put it in the chat. Nothing else? You already know. Definitely no go in the courts to correct anything. And you know what's deep? You're either a person or a fiction. You can't be both. Yeah, you can be both. If you're just saying person, because a person's a fiction too. Because you have to specify what type of person if you're going to say person. And if you don't say natural in front of person, then you mean a fiction. So you can be a person and a fiction at the same time because they're both fictions. You can't be a natural person and a fiction. And just that one word changes up that whole thing. Again, perspective. Perspective. Once perspective is lined up, you see things clearly. Right? So imagine this stop before that. And tomorrow you bump into somebody and then they're talking about we're going to kidnap you and you're saying, I'm a person, you can't do that to me or whatever like that. Huh? And then they kidnap you anyways and then you talk, this Moor stuff doesn't work. You still got kidnapped because the Moor stuff doesn't work. The Moors on the chat said that all I have to say is person. And it wasn't that. It was that you were trying to dive off the 50-foot platform into ankle water. It's not going to go too well for you. It's not going to go too well. Nature, you haven't built with nature in a little while. Last I I messaged them probably a month ago or so, maybe about a month ago. Yeah, those Moors are there. Yeah, but I don't know if you have some topics that you want. I don't know if they still have their YouTube up. And I don't know if they started back anything as far as their temple meetings. But Morris Trucking, MorrisTrucking.com. You can get a hold of Grand Sheik Nature if you got any classes you want. Shoot him an email, see what's up. But as far as us, nothing's planned as of yet. Nothing's planned right now. Any other questions out there? Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Peace and love to all. Honors to all the mothers. And honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, the man. Drew Ali is the man. Supreme honors to him.
Release this beat today.
You close your eyes, and you see the ordinary, warm, brown, closed eyelid scenario. And then these colors begin racing together and form this mandalic, floral, slowly rotating thing, which I call chrysanthemum.
Higher space, higher zone, outer space, higher throne, outer state, higher chrysanthemum. Know my place, know my home, know my base, going on a killer's spree. This is how you feel when you hang from the gutter like crabs in a bucket hot. Now we got the city on fire, and I've been trying to get it Mike Myers. We going over limits, don't try us. Study, study, study till you make it out. Enough to save a nation, why not save yourself? You trying to find a package, about to play yourself. Caveat until you never heard that read out loud. Who say we not teaching no civics, they liars. That constitution got the courtroom on fire. That resolution 7-5 with no bias. Coronavirus in your Lysol products. Bury it, carry it deep, don't tarry it. Heavy like a weight on my heart. Lay Marion, my treasure was tossed in Lake Marion. Gone but never lost, we taught to never cherish it. Father never home, my throne should be a chariot. And various with areas underground like Harriet, underground like the spirit inside the heart of America. They pumping pharmaceutics, purple hearts in the highest chrysanthemum. Higher space, higher zone, outer space, higher throne, outer state, higher chrysanthemum. Know my place, know my home, know my base, going on a killing spree. This is how you feel when you hang from the gutter like crabs in a bucket hot. Now we got the city on fire, and I've been trying to get it Mike Myers. We going over limits, don't try us.
The word chumps and nerds going live with lies and words, calling themselves transitive verbs. We stay proper in status, in full life, lavish, halo crown, sons of Allah, view of 29 mantis. They doing rituals, using feces and rabbits. They throw rocks through our temple window like crack addicts. Make him hug cactus in realms of hieroglyphics. Lightning bolt to the neck of Greco Serapis. And the Turks you say gave me my fez, they're backwards. Lost souls spinning inward in the portals awkward. Our self-law and mastered national standards of angles, marvelous light geometric patterns. High past mountaintops, deep past caverns. When we have questions, inner self has most answers. And you're ready for the truth, close your eyes, let go. Embrace the intricate beauty as you pass the threshold.
High as a chrysanthemum. Higher space, higher zone, outer space, higher throne, outer state. High as a chrysanthemum. Know my place, know my home, know my base. Going on a killing spree, this is how you feel when you came from the gutter like crabs in a bucket hot. Now we got the city on fire. And I've been trying to get it Mike Myers. You know we going over limits, don't try us. Study, study, study till you make it out.
Northgate, Northgate, Northgate. H2O flow, Chic, Canaanland, Moor. When these fall, Shalon Davis, salute. Hot house, check it.